People who hate you rarely admit it, but their behavior always gives them away. And once you start seeing the patterns, you can't unsee them. Pay close attention, because one of these patterns might already be happening in your life right now. And once you recognize it, the dynamic between you and that person will never feel the same again. If this feels familiar, stay with me. People who hate you don't wake up every day planning to hurt you. Most of the time, their behavior is automatic, unconscious, a reaction to something you represent to them. That's why they repeat the same patterns over and over, not because they want to, but because they can't stop. The first pattern is subtle but powerful. They minimize your achievements. No matter what you accomplish, it's never enough. It was luck, timing, help from someone else, or not that impressive. Notice how genuine support disappears and is replaced by silence, indifference, or sarcasm. This isn't accidental. Your success forces them to confront their own stagnation, and instead of dealing with that discomfort, they shrink you down in their mind. If you've experienced this, you already know how confusing it feels, especially when it comes from someone close. The second pattern is even more common. They hide insults inside jokes. Sarcasm becomes their favorite weapon. It allows them to release hostility while keeping plausible deniability. And if you react, suddenly you're too sensitive or dramatic or can't take a joke. This pattern is designed to make you doubt your perception, to keep you questioning whether the disrespect was real. Pay attention here, because people who respect you don't need humor to hurt you. They don't enjoy crossing your boundaries disguised as playfulness. The third pattern reveals itself when your life starts improving. Your happiness makes them uncomfortable. They were fine when you struggled. They were calm when you needed help. But peace changes everything. When you become more confident, more grounded, more fulfilled, something shifts. Your growth activates unresolved insecurities inside them. They may not even understand why your joy bothers them, but it does. And instead of celebrating you, they emotionally withdraw or subtly undermine your peace. Don't rush past this one, because it connects directly to the next pattern. The fourth pattern is competition. Unnecessary, unspoken, and constant. Even when you're not competing, they are. Your choices become measurements. Your progress becomes comparison. Winning isn't the goal, feeling superior is. They need to feel ahead, smarter, more successful, more admired. And if they can't be, they try to pull you back into a game you never agreed to play. If this is resonating, trust that instinct. You're not imagining it. The fifth pattern is memory, selective memory. They remember your past mistakes clearly, every flaw, every failure, every version of you that felt smaller. But your evolution, your growth, that part seems invisible to them. Why? Because your progress threatens the version of you they once felt superior to. Letting go of your past would require them to update how they see themselves. So they hold on to old narratives, not because they're accurate, but because they're comfortable. The sixth pattern happens behind your back. They talk about you more than they talk to you. Hate prefers indirect attacks, whispers, side conversations, subtle character distortion. Direct communication requires courage. Indirect behavior allows them to avoid accountability while still releasing tension. Silence here often says more than confrontation, and the more you stay calm, the louder this pattern becomes. The seventh pattern is emotional provocation. Subtle, calculated. They poke at sensitive areas, bring up triggering topics, test boundaries just enough to get a reaction. Why? Because your loss of emotional control gives them relief. It confirms something inside them. It justifies their resentment. This is where awareness becomes power. The moment you stop reacting automatically, the dynamic begins to collapse. And now the eighth pattern, the one most people miss completely. They can't truly ignore you. And this is where most people misunderstand what hate really looks like. Because real indifference is quiet. It doesn't check. It doesn't monitor. It doesn't react. But hate pays attention. Even pretending not to care requires effort. Watching from a distance, tracking subtle changes, comparing your present to their past. Indifference is impossible when resentment exists. That's why silence, avoidance, or exaggerated disinterest are often signs of fixation, not peace. Notice this carefully. When someone truly doesn't care, your absence feels neutral to them. Your success doesn't disturb them. Your growth doesn't activate anything. But when someone harbors hate, your evolution creates friction inside them. They feel displaced, uncomfortable, left behind. And instead of processing that feeling honestly, they externalize it onto you. This is why distance triggers them more than confrontation ever could. Arguments keep you engaged. Detachment removes their access. Your calm becomes confusing. Your silence becomes unsettling. Your lack of reaction becomes unbearable. Because without your emotional energy, they lose something they were unconsciously feeding on. Here's the subtle truth most people miss. Hate is not the opposite of love. Indifference is. Hate still needs connection. It still needs relevance. It still needs proof that you matter enough to be reacted to. That's why they may resurface when you're doing well, why they react to your absence more than your presence, why they suddenly appear when you've moved on. And once you see this, something shifts inside you. You stop explaining yourself. You stop defending your growth. You stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You realize you were never the problem. You were the trigger, not because you did something wrong, but because you represented something they weren't ready to face. And that awareness changes everything, because clarity dissolves emotional hooks. Understanding breaks unconscious control. And once the pattern is visible, it loses its power. You no longer need closure. You no longer need answers. You no longer need permission to move forward. Distance becomes self-respect, silence becomes strength, and peace becomes non-negotiable. If this resonated deeper than expected, share it with someone who needs this perspective. And if you want to keep understanding human behavior at this level, stay here. This channel isn't about drama, it's about clarity.